Some people out there might call this a walkie-talkie, but if you aren't some people out there, but ham operator, you might know these as HT or handheld transceiver, or simply handy talkie. These pair of talkies here have been given to me from a friend after he cleaned up his house. He's a land surveyor and didn't need it anymore, since the battery lasts for about an hour and normally would spend much more time on the field. At first, it didn't look like much, but being curious as I am, I then started to try and identify those little radios. And the first thing I noticed was that the manufacturer's label dropped off, so no label today. But after fiddling with it, looking down and up, I fiddled this little latch. Come on. And there you have it. A battery and the back. Actually, and there it was. As you can see, it is called an AKS A5. It's a rebranding from AKS Manufacturing. Now, with the model number in hand, I fired up some search engines and start searching the model number, but with no matching results. But there were similar results, and I followed some images around. That was a very good clue to what it was. This one is a rebranded Baofeng BF-A5, which was rebranded to AKS as AKS A5. So there's that. But how about a manual? You'll be in luck if you find a manual for these, because it's nowhere to be found. Oops. But that's when I stumbled across an article on HamGear mentioning the A5. The blog post refers to it as a successor of the Baofeng BF-800 series, and it gave some clues to the difference, if any, between the two. Looking for the manual for the BF-800s was very easy, and everything worked as explained in the manual, except the scan function. I never managed to make it work. I also found a review on eham.net showing some specs and also mentioning that those are programmable somehow. And with a quick search, I found out those are programmed via the speaker and mic jack with a very clever USB connection. Let me show you. With a cable just like this one. If you're a HamGear operator, you might know these cables and you might have a lot of them around. But just look at that. Isn't that clever? And also in the manual, there was a section that shows how you make your own cable with just a pair of resistors and a serial port. So I didn't stop there. I wanted to know more. And with the correct model number, I went deeper. And that's when things started to get weird. First of all, I found a YouTube video by Handy Radio that compared the past and newer model, and also shows that there is a variant with a green sticker that indicates that it had been upgraded garbage scrambler function, which is nice. And also, mine also have the green update sticker. Neat. I also found two spec sheets for it with some conflicting information. And one at brigreference.com says it operates at 3.8 volts with 2 watts output, while on hammerradioguy.net it's 7.4 volts at 5 watts output. Now what? Well, if we look here, it says it's 5 watts at 3.7 volts. And the battery, if you look up there, it's 7.4 volts. How am I running a radio that is rated for 3.7 volts with a 7.4 battery? So, digging deeper and deeper on the equipment, I see more conflicting info as I dig through, and eventually I found out that the specs stamped on at these HDs are misleading at best. Also, it's 2 radios, but one of them comes without a rubber on the antenna. Let me just switch that for a sec. You can see that these use SMA connectors. You can see it uses a female SMA, which for some radio antennas are not the best, but you can buy adapters on eBay, Amazon, pick a place. There you go. In my search for answers, I found a video by Mega Gigavolt that things started to become clear. In the video, he performed some tests and the results confirmed my suspicions. The BF-A5 is sold as a higher powered HD, but its power is no different that of the 800s. I also tried recently to dig after the rebranding company and search the CMIIT ID, which is like the FCC ID but for the Chinese industry. And lo and behold, the official specs, all the model name of the BF-A5 right there under my nose. So, what do I have? Basically a BF-800 with a different clothing and brand new model number, because this was released in 2015. So it's just a re-release of the 800 series? Or is it? As I went deeper and deeper, I found out that the chip on the 800s was able to work on a broader range of frequencies. How? You simply force it to write some higher frequencies using the multi-platform HD programmer Chirp and an image with said frequencies. This is called the VHF mod and it's easily found around the internet. But this modification is available on the chip that's being used, which is one of the BK4800 family. Thanks to Klaus at his post at kh-gps.de with detailed information about BF-800s and its internal components, showing is a BK4810. The BK on the start of the model number stands for Baofeng Corporation, the Chinese manufacturer of the IC. It's more precisely a half duplex TD-FM transceiver, and the spec sheet for the chip model BK4813 was available, although the BK4810 is nowhere to be found. The A51, on the other hand, proved to be hard to find any info about its internal workings, so I just did it. Here it is. As you can see, it's nothing more different than the BF-800 series, but is actually something. You can see on the other side, we have the speaker. I have this little buzzer thing, I don't know. There's some water damage, but that's my fault. Actually, that's flux LED, knobs. We have the chip right in there, a jack, another jack, the buttons on the side, various inductors, the amplifier, I think. Anyways, you can get more information on Klaus' website. So I think it's now appropriate for a teardown montage. Yay! But actually it's just me decelerating the damn thing. Also, the only thing that's a bit finicky is right here. This is the ground pin, and it goes soldered right in there. Now you know why there is so much flux in there. And the other part that is also finicky to get out is the SMA connector. It goes where? Where does it goes? Goes right in there, right? Like this. But first, and it goes right in there, like so. Huh? So you have to desolder the SMA and the ground pin to get the board off. and the connector off. You can't just yank it out. I tried that. Almost broke the connector. Don't do these at home. And now I can see the internal workings of this radio, and the chip that showing in the screen is the same damn chip as the 800s. So it turns out that it's just a 800s with some modifications. An upgraded 800s. But then I got hit by another roadblock. The software. The BF-A5 have its own software, and you can get it at the manufacturer's website. But if you buy one of these cables, you can get a CD with the drivers and the proper software to write on the BF-A5, which is the BF-418. I have used this one. It works. I have actually a screenshot of it in operation, as you can see. But you can still use Sharp. But looks like Sharp cannot communicate with the radio over the cable, and just the manufacturer software can. But that's actually on me. There is some kind of localization glitch that didn't let me open some menus, including the menu to talk to the radio. So I just change it to English, and there you go. Here you can see the default channel list, and it's not that standard to most parts of the world, which is something you should be aware of if you're going to buy one or more of these HTs. So I take a look at the documentation for my country and made the modifications as needed. Although it's very tempting to me to do the VHF mod and start listening to other frequencies, but by now that will be kinda illegal. Because by the time I made this video, I'm not a licensed ham operator.
You there, sir? I certainly hope you've got a fishing license. Well,
and by doing the mod, I'm putting myself into serious trouble with the local authorities, which range from fines to jail time. So that's not something I want to experience like right now. And that's because those kinds of radios operates on the unlicensed band, also known as the Family Radio Service, or FRS for short, or also known as the Talkabout band, which is a mixture of FRS and GMRS, although GMRS transmission via HT is not allowed in some countries. If you want to fiddle with these things and want to operate on another frequencies, please study and apply for a license in your country.
You better have paid your TV license, sir.
Well, it was a wild ride, isn't it? It's incredible what just curiosity just by itself can make you learn. I learned a bunch about ham radios and frequency bands just trying to understand these little fellas, and I am now starting to tackle my local radio exam to become a licensed radio operator. And did you know that you can even talk to some satellites with one of these? Even do moon reflection? But that's for another video. Anyways, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching.